Hello, hello, hello. Here I am, under here somewhere. Let me turn this off. Hi. My name's Amber Greenlee. This is Philo. Philo is a chat to comic book drawing jam show thing. It's hard to describe. That's my child in the back. She's adorable. We have a special guest artist today, but first I'm going to introduce my my other co-host, which is Robin. We're going to put Robin in the big window here.
Hi.
Hi. And then we have a special guest artist today, which is going to be Dale Cipperley. Dale Cipperley is a San Jose based based cartoonist, whom I met through Chuck Weldon, and we used to do a show together, and he's a good artist, and he has decided to join us in the insanity today. So I am going to put up my page, and then this is his page, and it's such a busy day. We got cat camp.
Yay!
So I'm going to start with me. And so this is where I thought we left off, but I was wrong. I forgot about Kay's last panel, which is that they leap into another portal to escape, but to where? And so I'm going to pick it up where she left off. If you had tuned in last week, you would remember that I had nothing working, and I had to kind of end the show early, and it was terrible and awful. And it was pretty sad. We had nothing but technical difficulties, and I had to reinstall my drivers. I had to reset everything up for my Huyons. I realized what the issue was. Uninstalled, reinstalled. Yeah, it was fun. Okay, so let me turn off. Oh gosh. It's doing the same thing. It was just working. It was just working today. Come on. Oh my gosh. Why is it working now? Come on, Huion tablet. There we go. It's pointing at the wrong screen. Yes! Oh my gosh. Okay, did this solve it?
Yay, stomach dimension! Portal.
Yay, stomach dimension! Okay, so what we were talking about off screen is we do kind of like the idea of the stomach dimension. So I'm thinking like it is like a groundhog thing, and they can't leave the stomach dimension.
They just keep popping up into different stomachs.
Yeah, so they just keep popping up in different stomachs. I like that.
Like the cow. The cow is different stomach.
Yeah, well, no, the stomach dimension is different floating stomachs. And
we don't even know if they're like actually attached to anything. Like if it's like a human or a fish they're attached to, or what. It's just a bunch of different stomachs.
Or it's just a bunch of different stomachs. But Dale, yes. So they're gonna realize they can't get out of the stomach dimension. And I'm gonna put that here. What happens after they realize they can't get out of the stomach dimension?
What happens after they can't get out of the stomach dimension? Are we asking for suggestions, or should I come up with something?
We are asking for both, because you're always good with stomach stomach ideas, with suggestions.
How many characters are trapped in the stomach at the moment?
It is Philo.
Yep.
It is Bluto in Puma form.
Okay.
It is the dog.
And he's Philo's boyfriend.
Yes, and he and Philo are an item.
Okay.
And Philo's dog, which is just a random cartoon dog, no specific breed. Mm-hmm. And then Otis / Dot Baton, which you can choose to either draw as a woman or a man, which is a copy of Philo.
Okay, so there's Philo, who's male gender.
And Otis is the portal maker.
Okay.
Yes.
Philo is humanoid male with antenna. Bluto is Bluto from Popeye with a feline form as a humanoid puma.
A puma, like a cat.
like a real puma.
Yes,
And then
like
there's
big
a
giant
dog,
cat.
and then there's a female Philo. And they're trying to figure out how they can get out of the stomach dimension.
Well, okay, so female Philo was male Philo, but when they were in the land of Phila, they became female. But when they went through the portal, you can choose if they're male or female. I don't know. It's a wonderful choice of it's a plethora of options ahead of you.
Okay. Shall I start drawing?
What?
Go to town.
No, okay, I'm going to town.
If you want, I can talk all about my adventures at TCAF.
Yes, TCAP. TCAP adventures.
Okay. So, the first thing I did when I got there is I went to see my friend Ho's panel that he was doing. And I learned that Ho is actually taking over as the programmer for TCAF, which is a pretty big deal.
Wow.
Now, you might know Ho because he's actually kind of famous. His full name is Hoshea Anderson, and he is the comic book artist that did the comic biography of Martin Luther King. And he's been in comics since like the late 80s. He was for a while there, they really likened him a bit to Howard Chaykin. He did for Fantagraphics, he did a bunch of adult comics. And he was actually pegged to do a comic series for DC Milestone. And he did their like Superman character, which was called Wise Son. And it was excellent because they expected him to do like a superhero comic, right? But Ho is not like that at all. Ho is more interested in personal relationships and how people relate to each other. And so he took the Superman character, Wise Son, and this character spent most of his time trying to figure out his place in society and within the community and discussing things within the community instead of using his fists. And it was really cool.
Nice.
Currently, he had a Blade comic that he was doing that Marvel commissioned him for. But of course, it was about George Floyd and the police and how Blade got involved in that. And Marvel was too afraid to publish it. So they canceled it. But now they've asked him. Oh, no, it wasn't Blade. It was Luke Cage. It was Luke Cage and the police and the whole George Floyd movement thing. But now he's doing a Blade comic, and he's actually finished it, and it's gorgeous. But they're waiting till the new movie comes out before they release it.
Well, I heard that Snipes is reprising his role.
I thought it was Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala Ali is, but Snipes is going to be a variant.
Oh, interesting. Anyways, this is my friend Ho's new series called Godhead.
Oh, wait. I got to put you in the big window. Godhead.
Let's get some pages going.
That's a beautiful cover.
Yeah, it's Fantagraphics. Oh, no, it's Fantagraphics is publishing this one there. Here's Ho's work right there.
Nice.
Now, for a while, Ho actually stopped doing comics. He got really disappointed by how things were going. And then he spent like 10, 11 years doing movies, writing and directing and filming. But yeah, his comics have a very cinematic feel, and he's a fantastic artist.
How'd you meet him?
His work. And he's got so many ideas. Like, he's constantly sending me stuff like, oh, I feel like I'm going to do a black romance comic now. And he's also currently working on like a ghost story about the people of color in like a New Orleans cemetery. This one is about when a powerful multinational corporation creates a machine that can communicate with God. Does it spell humanity's salvation or the end of days? The sprawling saga set in the not-too-distant future explores the collision courses among science, religion, and corporate greed. God. So yeah.
Yeah, just light subject matter.
It's never light with Ho.
Yeah,
it's never light with him. But I love it. Like, he really challenges you to think a lot, and that's one of the reasons I've always loved his comics, because like, I'm kind of sheltered. I'm obviously a white woman in Canada, and Ho is a black man in Canada. And, I kind of thought that Canada was a little beyond racism, but it takes people like Ho to educate me and make me realize that, no, it's still pretty bad out there.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, when I was with a Canadian, and we don't have to go go into detail as to who. He was very racist against natives.
Yeah, my
And
parents are
it
the
made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I don't want to say I can understand why, because I don't understand why. But at the same time, like, there's this long history of people my parents' age having that attitude. I mean, they're fed a lot of propaganda, and they only see the worst of the worst. They don't ever see the best or the creative or the people trying to get out of those kind of holes. And to me, like, there should be a lot more compassion, because a lot of the holes that they're in, we created for them. And I don't know. You could say that a lot about a lot of different cultures, and I feel like we should have a lot more respect for everybody. Kindness, compassion.
Ian, did you grab the pizza? Okay. Sorry.
That's okay. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, my mom, like, I can't even talk to her about the FLQ crisis. That's not about First Nations. That's about French politics in Canada.
Yeah.
She freaks the hell out. Like, I can't have an intelligent discourse with her about it, because she just gets like, they were bombing people, and I'm like, there's more to the story than just that. Like, there's a lot of gray to it. And it's the same with the First Nations. Yeah, there's First Nations that are drunk. Yeah, there's First Nations on welfare, but there's white people that drink, and there's white people that are drunks, and there's white people on welfare. It's not specific to their culture. So I dated a First Nations artist, and he used to tell everyone he was Samoan.
Interesting.
He'd wear Hawaiian shirts all the time, and he had, like, his hair was long, and he would say he was Samoan. But currently, I'm actually pretty proud of him. He's directing a series on CBC television where First Nations youth get in touch with their past culture, and it's like they learn the skills that their forefathers would have learned. So, you know, the first episode is about this young First Nations youth who's teaching other First Nations youth how to ride horseback, do archery on horse, throw axes, things like that. I think it's pretty interesting. And it's like a long series that he's directing for CBC television, which is a pretty big deal.
Nice. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, there's shows like, or movies like Smoke Signals. That talk about, like, the native voice that I think more people need to see. And so
representation really matters. And, you know, like, I never really realized it, because you're seeing other stuff all the time. But when I saw the first Wonder Woman movie, it felt different. It really felt different. Like, different than any other movie I'd seen before. And I'm not saying, like, oh, it's special and it's so well written and so well. I'm not saying any of that. It's just there were moments where the male gaze wasn't there, and it was a female gaze, and she was treated differently, and she did different things. You know, she was a powerhouse. Like, it was.
Have you seen the comparison between the Amazonian costumes in Snyder's stuff versus Greta Gerwig's stuff? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Who's Greta?
Do you know what I'm talking about? Or I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the director of Wonder Woman.
Oh, it's Patsy Healy.
Patsy. I think. I'm sorry, I was mixing it up with
the one who did Barbie.
Yeah, I was mixing it up with Barbie. If you compare the costumes in her version,
Patty Jenkins.
Thank you, Patty Jenkins. Thank you. Her costumes are practical, right? They're armor. Then in Zack Snyder's version, it's armor.
Yeah, it's all slinky stuff. The other point I wanted to make was when I saw the cartoon Red. Did you ever see that cartoon Red? It was a Disney movie about a red panda.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, that's I know of it, but I haven't seen it.
It's a Disney film, but it's set in Toronto, and it's about a young girl, and she gets her period, and she's turning 13, and she's got all these crushes on boys, and it's
she
about
also
her
has
friend.
like superpowers. Yeah.
Well, it's a family curse or a family benefit, depending on how you look at it. But it's also steeped in Chinese culture. But the thing is there was a moment where they showed her house, and I'm probably gonna cry, but it's so dumb. But I'm PMSing, so we'll just say that. But the thing is I literally cried when I saw it because I was like, that's a Canadian house. Like, it's different from all the other houses in the world. Like, that's my part of the world that I'm looking at. And like, I'm almost 50, and it took a Disney cartoon to make me realize, holy shit, representation matters. Like, it's just a stupid house, but I feel so seen. Like.
So I gotta talk Philo for a second.
Sure,
this
yeah,
is
go for
panel
it.
1. They can't leave the stomach dimension. And then we go to panel 2, which Dale, if you could label this panel 2 like the folder it's in, that'd be awesome.
Is that the Bluto Puma, or is that the dog? That's so cool.
I think that's the dog.
No, that's the Bluto Puma.
Oh, that's
Nice.
the Bluto Puma. Oh,
Nice.
because they're a couple. Okay, that works.
I like it.
Okay,
like
so what are you writing down here? What's happening?
I can't remember. Do pumas have spots or stripes?
They have neither.
I've been drawing him just one color.
Tawny. I imagined him as a tawny color.
So okay, Dale, for me, before you start drawing, can you write in what you're doing so you don't forget what you're doing?
I think you
Okay.
should put like the crew jumps to one stomach. They jump again into another stomach? Question
Okay.
mark?
I got the impression that this was their thinking about how to get out of this.
Out of the first
Okay.
stomach. Okay.
They weigh their options,
How about devising a plan?
devising a plan.
Good.
Okay.
That's great.
They
That's
are
a good one.
devising a plan. That means I get to draw the plan.
Wee-hoo.
Wee! I get to draw the
How do you
plan.
spell devising again? Is it D-I or D?
E. No, it's DEVISING,
Okay.
but it's DEVIS. Yeah. Where is my pizza?
I am also eating pizza. Ian brought me a piece because he doesn't want me to starve.
He is a good person.
Okay, so their plan. They're gonna try and get out of the stomach dimension. I'm thinking the dog, because we haven't talked about the dog in a while. The dog's just been kind of an accessory. So the dog is going to chew through the wall. Unless chat says otherwise. Chat? No? No chat?
Yeah, there's nobody in our
Yeah.
chat. Is anybody watching?
We have 2 people watching.
Oh, that's all right then.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so dog's gonna chew through the side. That's what I'm gonna do.
The dog is going to chew through the side of the stomach?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yes, so they're going to fall into the stomach void.
Oh no. Isn't that just like, oh no, the antacid is in the stomach.
Let's see. The dog chews through.
Yeah,
The
that sounds like a
stomach.
dog chewing through stomach.
Yeah, so he's trying to get them free. And I have to redraw this now. So yes, I'm gonna while I'm figuring that out, I'm gonna leave Dale up a little bit. Dale, you need to center.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
My bag is so full of comics.
As it should be. Syrian!
What was this convention in Toronto like?
Well, this convention started, I think it was in 2001 or 2002.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the Toronto Comic Art Festival, and it spawned other festivals across Canada. So there's a Montreal Comic Art Festival starting up, and Vancouver Comic Art Festival has been going on for a while. The whole premise of it is that there's no superheroes, there's no cosplaying, it's all like alternative comics.
Ooh, that
It was
sounds
started
cool.
by the Beguiling Comic Book Store, which is like Toronto's premier alternative comic book store. And when I managed a comic book store and co-owned a comic book store, and when I first went into the Beguiling, I was like, I hate this place. And the owner was like, why? And I'm like, I had this giant stack of comics, and I'm like, I run a comic book store. I can get comics. and I'm still finding stuff in here that I want and I don't have. I hate this place. Right, like I totally loved it. Anyways, the Beguiling is quite famous because it features heavily in the Joe Matt oeuvre of comics. It's the place where Seth and Joe and Chester used to spend quite a bit of time, if you've read any of their comics. And it's I think they're into like their 20th year almost now for TCAF. It's a pretty big deal. I went to the very first one and I interviewed Maurice Vellacoupe, Joe Ullman, Kagan McLeod, who else? There were a couple other people too, and it was on cassette, and I left it at the radio station where I was doing my radio show, and someone friggin' stole it, and I'm pretty sure taped over it because I never got to play any of those interviews. It was so frustrating. The last time I went was 2009. I had to look it up because I was just like, I'm just not into comics like I used to be, and it's so much money. And even today, like I'm mostly just stuck to buying my friends' comics, like to support my friends. But like there was a billion and one things I could have easily spent my money on. There was so much new, amazing art there. I was just blown away.
Yeah, I'm sure their artist alley is just amazing.
It is. It's excellent. It's 3 floors and the panels were fantastic. Like, so the first one I saw was my friend Ho was interviewing this guy, Freddie Caruso, or I think his name Caruso. This dude is interesting as hell. He has this he's a black kid and he's got this crazy sort of Japanese anime style, but not quite. Like he's kind of made it into his own. And I gotta find his name so I'm saying it right. I don't want to get it wrong here. Where is the programming? All right, here, Saturday. Oh, these are signings. Oh yeah, he did his signing. Where's Fantagraphics? There we go. Where is he? Oh no, he's drawn in quarterly. Sorry, Freddie Carrasco. And he did a comic called Gleam, and he like married a Japanese woman and moved to Tokyo. Mm-hmm. And he kept getting caught up in the Tokyo scene, and he wanted to do a comic, and he knew to focus on a comic he had to like get away from that. So dude went and worked at a cabbage farm for a year in Japan. So he could focus on his comic in the evenings, and he did this great comic that Drawn and Quarterly was so blown away with. They were like, we're publishing it, period. So that was a really good panel. And then the second panel I saw was Peter Cooper, and oh my gosh, I love Peter Cooper's work. He does that sort of stencil spray paint style. I don't know if you've ever seen him. He's got a comic series called World War III that's very political. He did Spy vs. Spy in Mad Magazine for eons, and I've been actually following his work for a very long time. And let me get my camera photos.
I think you won over Dale with Spy vs. Spy because he is an aficionado of Mad Magazine.
They had another artist carry on with it after Antonio Projas, and
Peter Cooper was the artist.
Peter chose an entirely different style.
Yep. It was stencil spray paint, and the story is he didn't want the job. He was like, I don't want to have to take over from somebody else, and he was kind of beyond the whole Mad Magazine at that point. He just graduated from university, and so he was like, he just developed that stencil airbrush style and spray paint style, and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna give them the sample in this like really difficult, totally foreign from what they had before style, and they're gonna reject it, and that's that, and I'll be fine. But they were like, no, this is perfect, we love it, it's exactly what we want, and so we got the gig despite not wanting it.
Sometimes that happens.
Here, let's see if you can see this on my phone. I don't know if you can. Let's see here.
Does Philo have nipples?
You can if you want.
We have established that he is wearing shorts, but beyond that, little else.
All right, let's see if we can do this.
Let's see. Oh, Smoothbop. Hello,
okay.
Smoothbop. How are you?
Can you put the big panel up for me so you can see what I'm showing you?
Yeah, I can. Hello, Hamill. We are, guys, I got to stop for a second and say that in the chat right now, we have the creator of Philo.
Oh, cool.
And so this is the first time he's been able to tune in and see the wackiness that we have generated. And that's beautiful artwork, by the way.
So this is Peter Cooper's latest comic that's going to come out in 2005, and he's obsessed with insects. And he got a grant from the New York Public Library, where he was allowed to do a residency in the library as long as he used the library as a resource. But the thing is it happened during COVID. So he was there by himself in this huge, empty, beautiful building. And he was taking all these photos of the architecture and the granite columns and the wood and everything. And he came up with this idea, because he loves bugs, of doing a comic book where the New York Public Library is having a giant exhibit on bugs, but the bugs kind of take over the library, and they educate you also about the first original entomologists, like the people that observed bugs and discovered certain things. In one here I've got.
That sounds like an awesome book, actually.
Here, they didn't realize that
Dale's panel real quick. Ooh, Dale.
Nice.
By the way, I'm working on panel 3, so you got to start thinking about panel 4, and we're still taking suggestions from the audience.
So here's this one's story about a woman who she was the woman that first realized that caterpillars metamorphose into butterflies. Prior to that, everyone kind of thought that they just kind of emerged out of the meat of the body. But they didn't realize that they actually change form within the cocoon. And so she was the first one to realize that. And so, that's what this book, it's talks about the originators, and then also a lot of gorgeous stuff about bugs. And he's really outdone himself. It's beautiful work. He has a book right now. He spent 2 years in Mexico with his family, and he has a book right now kind of discussing the strife where he was living, but it's also part and parcel with the monarch butterfly migration. So that was the start of he apparently was obsessed with bugs when he was a kid, but then he hasn't really explored it until the last couple of years. So and the other thing is, Peter Cooper teaches classes in New York, comic cartooning classes, and just even to have him talk is like having a class for Peter Cooper by Peter Cooper about Peter Cooper. So it was awesome. I was so excited to be able to listen to him speak.
Yeah, that sounds like it was a fantastic event. And then you said you had a long train ride, which makes me envy the rail in Canada.
Oh, that's not it. Oh, but I got to do. There was so much more that I didn't saw. I didn't even show you half the comics. I only showed you two. The next panel after that was Maurice Vellecoop, and he's a Canadian cartoonist, and he has a memoir that just came out, and it's all about him coming out in Canada and in the 80s and 90s during the gay plague, and then also coming from a very strict religious family, like a Dutch Reform family. So and his work is so beautiful, and it was put together by Chip Kidd. It took 12 years for them to do it, which is kind of incredible.
Syrian said that it looks good. Glad to be back. Going to do more med stuff. Talk to you again soon. Syrian, by the way, is my tech guru.
Oh, and hi, Syrian.
If Hamill's still there, I'm curious what to do for the next panel, or what to give Dale to do for the next panel. So this is where I am on panel.
Oh, doggy!
And so, yes, the dog chews through the stomach. And so we're pretty close to panel 4. Where are you, Dale?
Still working on my panel.
You're still working on your panel?
Yeah, I'm still working on panel.
Maybe Amber should do panel 4 then.
You want me to do panel 4? Okay, we're going to do it.
Okay. Say it's my first episode. I'm learning how fast.
It's okay.
It looks good. It looks good. I like all the different stomachs.
What I love about it is that you have been training Chuck in speed art, and now the master has become the student.
The chickens have come home to roost. Yes.
So I am going to do panel 4 then, And so we will come back to panel 2. Panel 4. All right. So let's see what happens once they break into like the stomach void. Oh no. I don't know what happens when they break into the stomach void.
Is he going to be falling for hours? That poor doggy.
I don't know. Like do the rest follow it? Like, do we keep the group together? Is the dog gone forever?
Does Otis turn into a giant rope and grab a hold of the dog to save him? To bring him back?
So what you're saying is that he's a shapesmith.
Yes, I think we've established that. I mean, if he can turn into portals.
If he can turn into vending machines and portals and stuff like that, maybe. I'm thinking they're floating in the void. They float within the stomach void.
There. These are all the comics that I have to talk to you guys about.
Oh, should I put you in the big window then?
No, because we've got lots of time to talk about them.
Wait. We have a suggestion. The dog is doing stand-up years later, and he badass them with I can't stomach this. Okay, I'll do that. All right, I know how I'm going to incorporate that. I can do it. Yep. I'm on top of things. Okay. So, yeah.
Are you on top of the world looking down on creation?
Yeah, we'll do this. And so we'll have the dog down here. And he's going to be talking into a mic. Here's his little paw. And let's see. Yeah, we'll have.
I got something really cool to help out. So I have a bajillion cards that I got made for when I was going to do my radio show at Brock University.
Mm-hmm.
See this really cool gold card. This is onomatopoeia with my name, Robin, and my email address. I found this awesome little printer thing. This tiny little Japanese micro printer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I managed to get these gold stickers, and I've covered up my old web address. And then I put like the thing I was hustling for on the back. And I'm really proud of myself. It turned out really cool. It doesn't look cheap or lame at all.
Is that one of those little microthermal printers?
Yeah. It's like a labeler. And you get the right stickers and it just spits it out.
That sounds awesome.
It is awesome. I love it. It saved all that money I wasted on these cards. I can finally use them for something else.
Let's see. We're going to have kind of a floating thing going on here. I think we're going to have Puma, Bluto down here. You know, with like the paws. Yeah. Something to that effect. Okay, I got to check in on Dale. Because Dale's probably going to be working on panel 6 soon.
Okay, I'm hurrying.
Let's see. Those are the hecklers.
Nice.
Let's see. Okay, so we got this, we got that, and then let's have the dog.
Somewhere Mark Kistler, his ears are perked up, and he goes, somewhere, someone's not drawing fast enough.
Yeah, someone's not drawing fast enough, and it's you.
I have failed Mark Kistler.
Again, I'm
that is.
I'm teasing.
Mark
Kistler.
Mark Kistler was a guy in I think it was the 80s, who had a how to draw show for kids on PBS.
Did he have like brown hair and a mullet?
Brown
and
hair.
Yep, and he used to go art attack, draw.
Yeah, art attack. I remember that dude.
Yeah, he's still teaching kids to draw. Sometimes he shows up at conventions. I met him. You know, he's older, but he was cool to meet, and the kids love him. I'm glad he's still. I'm glad he's still teaching.
Yeah, well, he's doing a service, man. You know, Bob Ross really helped a lot of people in this world. He changed lives. So I'm pretty sure this Mark
Kistler. He had a show called
the same.
He had a show called the.
Wasn't it Art Attack?
I think it was Secret City.
Oh, okay. I thought it was called Art Attack.
So Hamill says, I wish I remembered that. I had Bruce Blitz and How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way.
Yep. Bruce Blitz is awesome.
Oh, Kitty Cat Cam is cleaning.
There's action on Kitty Cat Cam, on Kitty Cam. So we have to put Kitty Cam up here. I'll turn this one up. And so, yes. So that is some cat action there. That is Archimedes. And I guess we can check on me and see what I'm doing.
I could show another comic off.
Ooh, yes, I could do that. Here. And then that'll give us time to draw. Oh, you take so much pressure off of me, Robin. Here, so, you are ready.
This is my friend Colin Upton.
Yeah.
He's like the main reason I went to the con today, actually, because he's a Vancouver cartoonist. He used to be the co-host on my radio show, and I haven't seen him in like almost 20 years. So I was really excited to go visit him at the con. And he's kind of considered the godfather of underground comics. Chester Brown really admires him. He's been in a Harvey Pekar comic. Mm-hmm. He's been around the block. He actually used to date Roberta Gregory for a while.
Oh, Kay is visiting us, and Kay says Dale is good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, look at Kay's photo as a puppet. That's cool.
Yeah, it's
So Colin,
anyway,
Colin
you were talking about
Colin. The 70s and 80s of underground comics, and so he does a bunch of mini comics about his life in Vancouver. And nice. I didn't realize how much I missed him until I saw him, and I was like, "Oh man, Colin, I missed you so much." The last story sometimes in this book is really. There's a story in this book I really loved where he was like, just realizing that everything around him is dead and dying, and he did it. Nice. His character was a skeleton. It was really cool. So like what he's thinking is in the bottom in white. It's kind of miserable, I guess. But if you know Colin, like this is one of my favorite stories. He did a really good job on this. It's all backwards though.
It's still, you can see the shading, and I like the simplistic style, but it's like deceptively simple.
One of the reasons I had him on my show is he's got a wealth of knowledge of underground cartoonists. He's about 10 years older than me, actually maybe 6 to 7 years older than me. And we've been friends for a really long time. I have some funny stories about him, but we had a show together. And I actually asked him, I was like, I've been everybody keeps asking me to do a podcast again where I just talk about comics like I used to. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't really want to be adding to the noise. There's enough people that do podcasts like that already. If I want to do something, I want it to be innovative and different from everybody else.
Yeah.
And I got the idea from Ho because he's interviewing this young kid and he's like, yeah, I'm just an old fogey. And like, I love how you've used the medium of comics and it's almost like a new language in your hands.
Yeah.
And I was like, Colin, it'd be really cool to do a podcast with you where we are doing the same thing, where we're just these two old fogies that have this giant wealth of underground comic knowledge. And then we're applying it to all the new stuff we're seeing because there's so much of it and it's so good. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Mocha Fest, the New York comic book art festival. Like, it's the same thing. You go in there and there's like tons of kids going to Pratt, going to all these different schools in New York, art schools, and they're putting out comics like you've never seen before. They're just gorgeous. And I don't know. I hope we can do it because I think we can. And I like the angle. I have high hopes, but I don't want to have high hopes, But I'm excited. There might be another onomatopoeia in the future, and that's exciting. This will be like the fourth incarnation. The third incarnation.
Well, I think it would be awesome. Yeah, and Hamill says it would be dope.
Okay, so am I done with this panel?
I believe so. So that means you are on panel 5.
Okay.
That looks great, Dale.
Yeah, and so let me show you where you are taking off from. So
Okay,
they're floating.
Let me
Yes.
copy, duplicate
This
layer.
is so absurd. How are we gonna understand why he's doing a stand-up comic show?
It doesn't matter. It's incorporated.
Okay. But I thought the whole point was to try to make it make sense. Like, we can figure out a way to make this make sense.
I have looked through the archives, and it is hard to make sense out of Philo, and so I think that the chaos should be embraced.
All right, I approve. I agree.
Yes,
I like chaos.
Yes, and so I believe that if we tried to order the chaos, it would be too insane, and we would not do well because we would be fighting ourselves the whole time.
Okay, I'm coming back to you. Tell me what I need to do.
Okay, coming back. So they're floating within the stomach void.
Okay.
And so I have Bluto in Puma form. I have the dog. I have there is Philo, and then in the back is going to be Otis. And when they are in the void, he is heckled by the others with all remembrances. So basically you're going to have their memories come up as heckling his joke. That is our suggestion from the audience.
So you're saying that inside the stomach void,
Yes.
the characters are somehow heckling this dog that is doing stand-up in another reality, or in the past, or in the future.
I think that in the stomach realm there is no time.
I agree with that.
I think that it should be kind of a timeless, wonderful void of strangeness.
Okay, would this make sense? What if you show them in the same panel, but then each of them has like a thought balloon, and each of them is doing their own stand-up routine in front of the brick wall. So they're kind of having the same sort of remembrance.
Oh, like they're all telling jokes?
Yeah.
We could do that.
So you're
Because they're in
saying
the same dimension, so it would make sense like that they were having this weird glitch.
okay, so what happens is if you end up in the void between stomachs, you automatically become a stand-up comedian.
So what Hamill says is they remember that experience. Hamill says they remember that experience, and this dog is telling it all wrong. Let me tell you about this time I was in the stomach.
Yes. Listen, I was in the stomach, and it didn't happen like that. Let me tell you.
Yeah, so I guess that
Are they hallucinating that they're stand-up?
No, I think that there's just no time. It's
too weird.
It's a new dimension, and so there's no wrong way to do it.
All right. Okay, that frees me up. Okay.
Yeah, totally.
But remember to write down what you're doing first.
Oh, yeah, it's not.
There's nobody who's gonna say that's wrong.
Yeah, but just remember to write down what you're doing first, and then draw it.
Oh, not first. Okay.
Yeah, that way you don't forget.
All right.
Yeah.
He's right.
Sorry, Dale.
Yeah.
Madlibs. Madlibs says Hamill. And so we got Otis back here, but I got to give Otis his own Otis.
Are we ready to see the
texture.
Next comic?
Yeah. Give me one quick second.
We can wait. There were no rush. We have lots of time.
Oh yeah, but because I just want to finish this up real quick, and then that's them in the stomach dimension, and I just want to make sure I'm erasing all the stuff that I don't need to have there for the stomach dimension, just to kind of clean up the art. There we go. All right, awesome. All right, let's check on Dale.
I gotta get my food.
Yes, we are checking on Dale. Dale has a void So okay, so they are remembering it differently, and they're all telling their stand-up comedian way of doing it. So that means I'm on panel 6, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm having a little difficulty with my
It's
app.
okay. I'll give you some time to draw it.
My app is giving me, it's not giving me my menus. Something's going on.
Oh no.
Good. Tab.
Okay. All right. And so, yes, we lost Robin for a second. I will turn Robin off for a second. We will look at the cat for a second while I take a.
Oh, I remember what's going on.
What's going on?
I hate the text tools in Whip Studio Paint.
Why?
I just do. They've improved, but they're not. Just they don't put as much effort into the Western. They don't put as much. Oh wow! It didn't let me do it. Weird. They don't put as much effort into the Western text tools as the Japanese
Eastern?
text. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. Kay says Restream doesn't play well with iPad. She says it lacks features.
All right. Now I'm.
Okay. So what happens next?
Trying to reset it.
After they are telling everything, should I show like their versions? Hi, Robin.
Hey. Back again.
Okay.
Okay, Kay, you have to help us out here. So, the team entered the void of the stomach realm, and there is like almost like an alternate reality of them as stand-up comedians talking about what happened in the stomach realm. So, what do they say? And Kay's like, "Oh no, I'm on the spot! No!"
How dare you do that to her?
No, come on, Hamill, help me out here. We got 2 blank screens. I'll put up Dale because Dale's actually drawing something.
Yeah, I like that idea. That looks good.
Hamill says this is a heckler's rift. They keep correcting the record. Okay, I can do that.
But it's interesting how it's become a sort of Groundhog Day idea.
Yeah.
Keep going back to that.
Let's see. They heckle each other and each correct the other's record. And so there we go. We're going to have that right there. We're going to get this text as large as we can get it. There we go. Okay, let's see. Dog is telling it wrong. How you doing tonight? How many of you from Pittsburgh, says Kay. Hamill says, I'm sorry, I was not caught up with backstory. And he says, super derail. Well, it's okay. This is the first episode that you've tuned in on. I do have the other episodes. Ooh, let me take a moment to show this. So let me put myself in the big screen here.
See, what I wanted to do when I was talking to Dale is I wanted to do this thing where we like stopped everything and then like broke down the characters and have a different way of telling the story, like rehashing the story for everyone in the middle.
I kind of have an idea of what I'm going to do. So anyway, my website, panel.com, that you see up here, I have all the previous panels as pages on the website. And so if you just click on archive, which is up here in the corner, you know, this is like my archive of everything. And then it's down here where I have Philo pages and Philo episodes clearly marked. So if you're ever lost and you're like, I don't know what to do, I don't know what's going on, I'm so confused, that's where you can go. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have like them correcting each other with like word balloons of what happened. And let's see, let's make this bigger. Let's make this bigger so that I can.
I like how that looks.
Yeah, but you kind of know what I'm thinking here, right? You kind of see what I'm thinking. Let's see. Don't give me research. I'm here to interact. Yes. Let's see. Bob Hope shows up to quiet them all down as he is the stage manager. I think that would probably be Dale's next panel. But Dale's got some drawing ahead of him. And so it's all right. What I'll do is I'll just start working on this one. Dale is inking, which is a lot more interesting than what I'm doing.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, and so we're just gonna have. Yeah.
Yours is good because yours is like a close-up, Amber. It works.
Yeah. Well, I'm using the power of comics to my advantage.
The gutters.
Yes, the gutters, as it were. Juxtaposed art. Yeah. Kay says Bob Hope shows up to be to quiet them all down. So we definitely have to take Kay's suggestion because it's Kay. And you know we love Kay here because Kay has taken the pressure off of me so much as previous guest artist on previous episodes, and I have acknowledged all the episodes that all the panels that she's drawn in the pages. So it says artwork by Kay, and yeah. So then that way you guys can check her stuff out. I need to start adding like a link, but I don't know if there's like a link to your art, Kay. You'll have to let me know. And so let's see, we'll have the dog down here.
All right, I'm going to talk about my new comic.
Oh, do you want the big screen?
Yeah.
Okay, big screen. Here we go. Bam! Ooh, True Loves 3.
So this is by a bud of mine named Jason Turner. He's a Winnipeg boy who's lived in Vancouver for most of his adult life now. Mm-hmm. I love Jason because Jason can draw quiet comics. And then in about, I think it was in 2000, he started doing a romance comic with his wife, Manine. And she writes and he draws it. And it's a Vancouver romance like no other. And I have most of the books. Like I have the first two, but I just because I moved away, I never had a chance to get the third one. So when Jason showed up at TCAF today, that's the first thing I grabbed.
Nice. Let's see. Okay. Yes. So we have Hamill saying that they love the pantomime panels. Yeah, so the pantomime panels in the artwork that you were showing. So let's see. Okay, let's check out what Dale's doing. Dale's having them do stand up in front of a bunch of brick walls. That means I have to add brick walls. So I can do that. And then, let's see, we're going to have like a spiral of brick walls back here. And then Kay says, cool. Yeah, I think that looks really cool, actually.
Me too. The extra effort is worth it.
So, okay, so what are the different versions that they're talking about?
Maybe they each have a different punchline for the same joke. And like the punchline is centric to who they are. So like the Puma's punchline is about fish or something that Puma would eat.
No. Okay, no. I have taken inspiration from what you have said.
Okay.
And an idea is formed in my mind, and I shall do the idea because the idea is good, and goodness is what we want for this.
Should I talk about another comic?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
These are called Dwellings.
Nice.
These are by Jay Stevens. He's a Canadian cartoonist who's been doing comics for a really long time. He did Atomic City Tales a long time ago. He also did Land of Nod. He's been in a bunch of Dark Horse anthologies. And so it'd been a long time since he put something out, and so I was really happy to see that he'd been publishing these. He'd been doing them through a Kickstarter.
And you picked up all these today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
This is nothing. Anyways, Jay does really great comics. Look at his work.
Clean. Very clean.
And these guys are published by Black Eye Comics, which is an imprint that was around back in the 90s and 80s. And like he stopped publishing, and it was kind of sad because he'd been such a stalwart of the indie scene for so long. There's some more of.
So Hamill says, "Nice Richie Rich look."
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely totally Richie Rich.
Yeah.
And then in 2019, Black Eye Press started publishing again, so I was excited. Jet Cat, that was another one Jay did, was Jet Cat. Let's see if we can get that in there.
Hamill says, with some Powerpuff Girls in there. Yeah, I could see that. Let's see,
Where did Popeye come from?
I think what Philo will talk about is the TV, and then I think what the dog should talk about is a bone, because he's a dog.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, and so that's kind of what I'm thinking. I am gonna put in. Yeah, we're gonna check out what he's doing for a while I'm inking, because he's doing awesome work. And so
yeah, you create a lot of space in those panels there, Dale. It's awesome.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm really excited to have Philo restarting, and to have like kind of a repertoire of artists that I could bring on the show, and just kind of tell cool stories about whatever pops up in our head. Yeah.
Like the Powerpuff Girls.
I have myself a bot.
You sure
that
do.
I am going to destroy. Goodbye, bot.
But this bot is flexible and convenient.
Sure they are. Yeah. And so I'm doing a lot better on getting rid of the bots. But once in a while one will show up. Yeah, but what I decided is, because we have Bluto in Puma form, he's talking about Popeye.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that looks a lot like Popeye, but it makes sense since it's Bluto.
Yeah, so he's gonna be talking about Popeye. And first, let me draw in the dog down here, because the dog's like, I wanted a bone. And we'll do that. Plus, let's see. Hamill says complex and compact storytelling visually. Oh, thank you. I try. But he's probably referring to Dale's panel, because Dale's panel is like awesome of them floating in the void.
Yep, I love it.
And then they're like doing stand up in the void. Yeah. And I also like added a bunch of microphones, so that they're floating in the void telling comedy. Because that's the thing, is like microphones, right? That's how they're a comedian. I don't know, like, what's the tell these days? I thought it was the microphone.
No, you're right. They usually walk around with it.
Yeah.
Not so much in the stands anymore.
Yeah, mic drops are so expensive. I'm serious because it destroys the microphone. And if you have like a really expensive mic, like if you're at a venue and like they've invested in their equipment, you don't want to drop that mic. Then you're an asshole. Yeah, Hamill says brick wall is a classic. Kay says it's open void night, which I think should be written down somewhere.
It already is. It's open void, but we should just add night.
Yeah,
it's open void night in the stomach.
It's open void night. That is brilliant. Not with an SM58, says Hamill.
Hamill's also right that the brick wall is a classic. Like, it takes me right back to watching A&E Evening at the Improv as a teenager.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. I want to say that the brick wall is a New York club, right?
Yeah, well, that's where Evening at the Improv was in New York.
Yeah. And no doubt, says Hamill. Yeah, I know when we performed at the Comedy Store, they would light up the sign on the main stage. So when you took pictures, it said the Comedy Store. But that way people would know.
Is the dog eating the mic?
No, he's just talking. Oh, you're talking.
He's eating it. It's awesome. I think you can leave it. Oh no, sorry, not you. It's Dale that's drawing it. It looks like the dog is eating the mic. I love it.
Yes, it's fantastic. Okay, we'll do this.
Okay, I have 3 more comics to show you, and then I'll stop.
Okay.
This one's called Bloomers.
Wait. Let me put you in the main window. Main window. Bloomers.
By Katie Freeman. And she's one of those youngins that just finished university. She went to, let's see here. She's got an MFA in illustration from the School of Visual Arts, and she received a BA from Trinity University. She's based in New York, but her stuff is just, it's quietly pretty.
Nice.
But it's about dogs and a dog that's in love with a flower.
Huh.
And a girl who finds the flower.
I love the fact that you can do anything in comics.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a front-facing puma.
And the it's not colored, it's black and white, but there's a lot of gray. It's all gray shading. It's really kind of pretty, actually. Here, this is a nice one. Like the dog. The doggy had a nightmare.
Mm. So it's all silent?
Mostly, yeah. Not a lot of talking.
Nice. That's always the kind of, I find the most difficult type of comics to do. Hamill says, pantomime is so smart.
This one made me laugh. So it's a guy and he's taking pictures of balloons and he's taking pictures of bird and he's taking pictures of couple, and then he's got the photo album and he opens the photo album and you discover that really he was taking pictures of himself the whole time.
Interesting.
It made me laugh out loud.
Okay, we're gonna check in on Dale. Oh no, that's me. Okay, we'll check on Dale first. And so, let's see, do I have a brick wall? I should have a brick wall.
Maybe have like the beginnings of a brick wall on the edges of the left and right page.
No.
Like
I know what I'm gonna do.
Okay. I have faith.
Yeah. Okay. So, going over my insanity, I know this doesn't look quite right yet, but what I'm going to do is take the eraser. First of all, make sure that you can see everybody.
Do you know the Bare Naked Ladies have a really awesome kids album, and one of the songs on that kids album is called Eraser?
No, I did not know that.
It's like a tribute song to erasers.
Well, they fix mistakes. Now, is it like up to the same level of magnets? How do they work?
That's a bad one. That one's hilarious. Science. Genetics. I had a son and he looked like me. How did that happen?
Hamill says, I would pay to have my name engraved in a new brick for that wall in order to restore the wall of the void. I donate. And Kay says, nice. Okay, I will have room for names in a bit when I'm done building the brick wall. Right now, we're just kind of erasing the Slayer.
Listen,
so that
we don't need no education.
Oh, because, all in all, we're just another brick in the wall. Is that what you mean?
That's what I mean. Exactly what I mean. Hey, do you see my Panther superhero pajamas?
I did not, but I will put you in the main screen for that.
Literally, the only reason I bought these superhero pajamas is because they have Spider-Woman. And usually when they're Marvel superhero merch, you never see a female superhero on it. Never. Yeah. And this is like old school Spider-Woman, so that's awesome.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's completely true because they're starting to change that in their
merchandise. Yeah, they are. I mean, because in the movies, there's all these new female characters. But in the olden days, when they didn't have 15 million Scarlet movies, it was very hard to find any superhero comics merch with females on them.
Hamill says, how do people support the show? I'm not.
Where are you learning your slang?
So there's a couple ways to support this show if you want. I will put this up just for a moment, even though this is going to be at the end of the show too. But I have a Patreon.
Look, Hamill, even you have a credit. See?
Yeah, you have a credit there. I have a Patreon, or you can go to my website and check out comics and stuff. I have a book that you can buy there, and so that is that. And let's see, let's check in on them doing Comedy in the Void, which is fantastic.
Yep.
And then this is kind of what I'm doing.
And I gotta say, I really like how you're drawing the Philo creatures with the weird ears. They make me think of a Matt Groening character for some reason.
Sometimes Philo has ears, sometimes he doesn't in mine.
I like how Dale's drawing them, where it looks like it's a part of their, they're almost like bat ears.
Yeah, it's like part of their anatomy.
Yeah, I like how Dale draws them.
Let's see, we're gonna do this, and then let's see. Yeah, about supporting the show, Hamill. So Twitch has this thing where you can become affiliate. I am so close. I have 2 people on average watching my show. If I can get more than 3 in a period of time, then it goes, yay, you're affiliate, and then people can subscribe to the show. Until that happens, it's just, showing up and watching the show is fantastic support. So, let's see. No cap, says, Hamill. And then the kids, he says, oh, my name is Smooth Up. It all looks so good. I love to see how you've versioned this, Amber. Oh, thank you. Dale is a beast, but choppity chop. Just be consistent. Gotta find your little market. Yeah, I suppose that's true. Last week we had nothing but trouble. We had nothing but technical trouble. We didn't even get any artwork done. I had to reinstall drivers.
But we only had one person watching, so.
Yeah. So, how close are you to the next panel, Dale?
Give me a second.
Okay.
How's that? Is that done?
That looks done to me. So,
but you gotta change the dialogue. Remember, we're gonna do it's open void night.
Well,
yes, it's open void night.
Okay, give me a second.
Yes, open void night. Excellent. Okay, and then
it's open void night in the stomach,
as it should be. I guess it's like a comedy dimension. I love open void night. Yes, Kay came up with that. Open void night. And I was soundly asleep. Okay. Affecting text tool. I think that was exactly what you were saying there, Dale. All right. So yes, so we
I'm gonna do one last thing.
All right, I'm gonna let him do one last thing.
I have two more comics to share. 2 more.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do 2 more comics to share. That'll buy Dale some time.
So this is called Butterfly House, and it's a very cool comic. It's done by an artist called Troy Little. They live out in the East Coast, and he always wanted to do a comic with his wife. So they did a story about this house, and you read the first part of the book, and it's done by Troy, and then halfway through the book goes, and you flip it around, you start at the beginning of the other side. Oh, there we go, Brenda's side, and that's his wife doing a story about in the house.
That's fantastic.
It's kind of like, I guess, a Mobius strip of a story.
Mm-hmm. And you can just keep flipping it back and rereading stuff into it once you know the other half of the tale, right?
So here's the interior art.
Huh. So Kay says, "Fuck text tool drives me nuts too." And then she also says, "You got a high learning curve, Dale." And
so you're doing good.
I
Yes.
gave
We're
you guys
still in the stomach.
I gave you guys hex, so I'm putting my mouth where my money is.
All right, awesome. So I'm going to put you in the main screen then, because
Okay, what's the next thing I have to do?
So they heckle each other, and each correct the other's record was where I left off. And so to show you my panel,
right.
this is my panel.
Okay.
Of them, doing everything, and they're talking about like different records and stuff. Kay says, "I went and bought a Wacom board, worth it." And then Hamill says, "Agreed, Kay, Dale crushing it." And so, so they're correcting each other's record. Then what?
They're correcting each other's record.
Come on, chat, you got to help us out here.
I think that the voice balloons need to combine into something that will help them.
Okay, that is your caption, is that the voice balloons combine.
Does it grow into a Popeye? Because you've already got a bone and a face.
Well, what I thought is that, okay, the dog's talking about the bone, right?
Okay, I've been told
Otis has something to say. He's saying this is incorrect and he objects.
All right.
How so?
He has a better idea.
Well, what's the idea?
Well, we gotta wait till he types it
I am
out.
open to suggestion.
I'm pretty sure he's currently typing it out as we speak.
Yes.
You could add another character, because if they're doing stand-up, someone has to be listening. And the question is...
It is a void, though.
It's an omnipotent being that's listening.
Oh, it should be the Jeep.
So Hamill says, "We're still in the stomach, bro. Those lines above." So if we're still in the stomach, then there are better ideas than this. I'm thinking I like the idea that their ideas combine. And so if they're still in the stomach, like, are they arguing about this? How many word balloons does Dale have? I'm trying to go for more pictogram stuff for Philo than words. Like, I'm trying to make them like kind of rare, except for the line of I couldn't stomach this was just perfect for it, so I had to write it in. I don't know. It's my show. I can change it. Ha!
Maybe they attack each other. The dog goes for Otis, and then Brutus goes for Philo.
I was thinking that the bone, the pasta, Popeye, and the TV kind of join forces into a single thing. Maybe another Centagon creature. because the word balloons just kind of like pop into each other.
Maybe you know what? This is the third time we've done that, so maybe this time instead of creating a centigrade, it becomes a blob of goop.
A blob of goop? Okay,
yeah, because it's just like a bone sticking out of a blob of goop with some pasta. Like, you make it seem like they're gonna really change into something really cool, and you're like, and then it's like nothing.
Okay, so Dale, their ideas combine, and they argue. That is your caption.
You're saying that the ideas combined and they argue. Do you mean the ideas argue or the characters argue?
I was thinking the characters argue, but they is a, playing the pronoun game, so you can choose to have the ideas argue as well.
All right. Okay.
This is up to you.
Okay.
And so the ideas are arguing, but you have to give me some idea before I work on the next panel, because I'm ready for the next panel.
Okay. The voice balloons are themselves going to be the center of attention.
Okay.
Their tails are going to intertwine, and the voice balloons are going to have huge shouting mouths yelling at each other. And they will
so the balloons themselves are arguing.
Hang on a second. Let me see
if I
can quickly rough something in.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, rough something in. Okay, I will put you in the main window so people can see you roughing stuff in, and that will give me time to build my panel. And don't forget to label the folder panel 7.
Blah 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 blah.
Blah blah blah.
We'll do that after the show when we're doing the cleanup.
Okay, well, I always try and keep it clean as I go, so I'm not playing the what did I do this game later? Yeah, that's just me being a perfectionist. Okay, so the word balloons themselves are arguing. Let's see. I'm just excited, says Hamill. And let's see, if the word balloons themselves are arguing, I think that they should Hydra. Right? Me being 63, I forget. Says Kate. So,
I have one last comic to show you guys, and I saved the best for last.
Okay. I'll put you up in the main one. Oh. So it is a not normal comic. It seems to be a zine of some sort.
It's a pizza comic. Teamwork makes the dream work. And then the other side says, pizza is surrounded by crust, like collaboration is surrounded by trust. But I don't know. They showed me how to read it, but it's kind of complicated. It's in different colors, so you can follow along appropriately, but it's like it's this like rotary comic.
That's kind of cool. It's almost like a scroll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a comic made from one of my colleagues at college, Caitlin Skullroot, about a road trip that she had fold out like a map.
That's cool.
So it was a big comic, when you folded it all out, and it was like almost like an expanded canvas that was printed out, but it worked with the theme of what it was doing. This comic gaslights you for your own entertainment.
Yes, accurate.
Okay, so if they are fighting, if the panel, or if the balloons themselves are fighting, maybe they ignore our group. I don't know. Do they become a Hydra? Are they alive? I'd say they're alive now.
What were the 4 elements that were in the balloon? It was Popeye, it was bow tie pasta, and what was a bone, and what was the other one?
It was Popeye, a bone, bow tie pasta, and a TV.
Oh, TV, right.
Yeah, and here they are right there for you. Does that give you reference?
I've got what I need intellectually.
Okay, excellent. We'll put you up there then, and yeah. So if they
thinking about the TV because they turned into one at one point.
Well, I did that because that's what Philo was thinking about, and Philo is named after Philo Farnsworth, the inventor of television. And so cool. Since Hamill was on, it was a little like inside nod to Hamill, you know, of like, hey, he's
Gee, I wonder if he caught that.
I don't know. You know, I was doing a little like winky. Okay, so it's open void night. What happens next? And I think that the balloons should be doing their own comedy.
That's cool. That's meta. Fully meta.
Okay. I'm gonna
That'd be
start.
pretty easy to draw. I don't know what our rest of our compatriots are doing.
Oh, they're the audience. You know, they're still kind of floating in the void. The music went to an interesting place.
Yeah, it's like Enigma.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay. The word balloons are now doing their own comedy.
And I'm adding the words yada, yada, yada.
Nice. Yes, that works. I like the sound effects. And I'm going to take your floating void of stage idea and just kind of do these like little floating voids. I don't know. It's an interesting show. You know, we have a lot of fun. Now I'm letting you guys know, by my clock, it's 8:20. So that means that we have about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not doing this in 10 minutes.
No. I'm probably doing the last panel. So, you know, you'll do what you can in the time, and then whatever extra time you want after you can take. But don't take too much because it's, you know, the show's about like spontaneity and in the moment and, you know, all that stuff. And so, yeah, we'll have little brick walls floating in the distance.
Still can't figure out how to read this thing.
Let's see. You're still trying to figure out how to read it?
Oh, it opens.
To me, it seems almost like a scroll where you're supposed to like follow it, or is it like?
Yeah, there's a couple of arrows, but I'm just not sure where to start. But it flattens at certain points.
It might be one of those stories which is circular, and there may not be a start, just wherever you started.
Yeah, I got to start reading it, but it's cool because the red stuff is the girl and the blue stuff is the boy. They're the writers and the artists. They share.
Nice. Yeah, have you ever read oh gosh, I gotta find out what it is. I gotta look it up real quick. Let's see, comic. I don't remember what it's called. Let's see, who drew Batman Year One?
David Mazzucchelli.
Mazzucchelli.
So you're thinking about Asterios Polyop?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Asterios like just I have that book. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. I just got it.
What? Yo, you gotta read it. It's genius.
I was going to mention it because of the two different art styles that's in it.
There's more than two.
Oh well, they kind of meld towards the end.
He goes through a whole gamut of art styles.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's like you could tell he had this idea, and you know, like he had to go out on his own to do it. There's no way DC or Marvel or I think
he's been on his own for a very long time. He like he only worked for DC in the early years. He's been self-publishing for a really long time and doing his own stuff.
I haven't read much of his stuff. You know, I knew about
when he was a youngin is when he did the DC work. He teaches, I think, at Pratt now. He's an educator, and he has been self-publishing, or he's gotten alternative publishers to publish his work for like the last 15 to 20 years. He doesn't really do superhero stuff.
Well,
now.
See, this is why I have you on the show, because you know all this.
That's why, like, Peter Cooper is the next best thing to having a David Mazzucchelli lesson, let me tell you. But Peter Cooper's still pretty awesome.
Yeah. I had Terry Beatty, Zach Sally, and Barbara Schultz at my school.
Oh, that's cool. Zach Sally's really good. I like his work.
Yeah. Zach was one of my favorite professors. A bit of a Luddite. You know?
Yeah, lots of comic people are.
Yeah, Zach Sally. A bit of a Luddite. He bought a printer that was used by the U.S. Army to print Stars and Stripes issues, like in the field, so that he could literally print his own comics. So when you pick up one of his comics off the shelf, that was printed in a basement in Minneapolis by Zach Sally's own hands. He doesn't have a printer.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, and so, you know, he has absolute control over the final product. And so, you know, he knows what paper he's using, he knows his fonts, he knows his typesetting, and you know, he does his work. But that's like the guy is like one of the last mainstays of the getting ink on your hands.
The mimeograph crowd.
Yeah, the mimeograph crowd. Like, I mean, this isn't a mimeograph. It's
mimeograph?
No, it's an ink.
Yeah, it's a printing press. The whole.
Yeah, it's an ink printing press. Yeah.
There, we have the second oldest printing press in our neighborhood. Well, not our neighborhood, but like in the area that I live in. And I got to use it once.
In Minneapolis, there's this great place called Open Book that is trying to preserve classic printing methods for future generations, right? And so, like, they have some printers, some like ink plate old printers and stuff that are like 200 years old. Nice. They actually have the upper and lower case letters in the original drawers. You know, so you can typeset.
Yeah.
And so again, they're trying to preserve this. Hamill says the punk rock guy. Yes, so I know him. Yeah, he was in the band Low.
Oh, really?
And I think he already has another band. I'm not sure, but he played guitar at our school a couple times. Yes, lowercase did mean the lower
that. Let me check something here.
What, the band? Oh, no. There's a great picture of Zach Sally on the internet. I gotta find. Again, there's not many images of him online because he is kind of a Luddite. Let's see. But there is this one picture of him playing guitar. Yeah.
No, I was wrong. I'm looking it up now. The girl that did the singing of Gem and the Holograms was eventually in her own indie band, and I thought it might have been Low, but it's not. It's I'm trying to find out what it is.
No, I can't find the image I was looking for. I shoot for Rain Taxi and the MCBA Open Book, different organization on occasion. Yeah.
Luna, that's who she is. The girl from Gem and the Holograms was in Luna, not Low.
No, Low was a punk band, I want to say 90s. You know, that it had some fans, you know, it like there were some times when people would come into class and they'd be surprised that it was Zach that was teaching them because they listened to his music. You know, I'm not going to say it didn't happen. Let's see. One of the first 30-person Comic Cons I shot was at Open Book MCBA. Yeah. I want to say that's Minneapolis Comic Book Association? Yeah, I also was a fan of the Cartoon Conspiracy when I was there, the Comic Conspiracy. Yeah, they did a lot of stuff too.
Yes, I know all about lowercase and uppercase. Just like you have to dot your I's and cross your T's is also from Printing Press lore. And mind your P's and Q's is also from Printing Press lore. There's a lot that we still use from that era of our literature sharing.
Yeah. Let's see. Yes, one of the first 30-person Comic Cons I shot was at Open Book MCBA. Yep, it's so cool. And then tell me P's and Q's.
Because when you're printing, you're putting things backwards, right? So P's and Q's are easy to mix up. So that's why they say mind your P's and Q's. But now it's evolved into this thing to be like, you know, don't be bad, mind your P's and Q's.
Well, I thought it was like, be careful, mind your P's and Q's.
Yeah, I always thought it meant like, don't be bad. But you could be right. That makes more sense. Be careful.
Yeah. Okay, I am gonna take over the main screen real quick. And so this is kind of what
Smooth Bop is teasing me because I'm being lazy and I'm lying sideways, and he's saying Amber has to switch my camera, so I had a long day, man. I had to like be at the bus station at 6 a.m. to get to Toronto on time because I live so far away.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
Let's see. He says, no, your camera's flopped. Yeah, he's saying that you could turn around your camera so then that way the comics are more readable. So it's not mirrored.
Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, well, it's on my laptop, so I don't know how to flip it.
I can show you how to do that after the show.
No, he says no.
X-axis. It's in your shoes, Amber.
Oh, that's what he means by no. You have to fix it.
I have to fix it. Okay, I'll fix it later. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Let's see. And then let's have stomachs back here.
Oh my god, the word balloons look like sperms.
I know. They kind of changed on me. But that's okay.
Puma's cute. The Puma's cute.
Let's see. We're gonna do that. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So we got that, and I think that's pretty good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make these reversed. Okay, there we go. All right, I'll fix that. Yeah, you can tell that we're concentrating.
It's silent.
It's quiet.
With focus
it's quiet
on
as the artists focus on things.
The stomach world.
The stomach void, or the void. I guess it's the stomach void. You know, it's void night. They're doing stand-up comedy. This is where we're going to be leaving off, is that the word balloons are now doing stand-up comedy for tonight.
Should they all do the exact same joke because that's why they were so angry? That's why they fought, because everybody had a different joke. So
well, they were all telling different interpretations of the same event, right?
But now that the word balloons have taken over, wouldn't it be funny if they all had the same version of the same event?
That's why I wrote yada, yada, yada.
See, Dale's already ahead of us. Mother's Day is a government hoax to create support for Big Mom.
Oh, God, don't remind me. I got to cook tomorrow.
Have you seen that joke where they're like, crime always goes down during Mother's Day, which tells me there's a lot of mothers doing crime.
That's funny. That makes me funny, haha. Let's see.
My mom's a puzzle nerd, and so I got her this puzzle she likes Agatha Christie. And it's like a puzzle that you put together, and while you're putting it together, it like tells you stories about her life, gives you clues.
Yeah. She was part of the precursor to M5 in England during World War II. Or was it World War I? No, it was World War I that she was in that. And yeah, she was in charge of like knowing about poisons and stuff. And that's one of the reasons why she became a mystery writer, is because she knew about poisons. You know, she like, well, what am I going to take this knowledge and do? There's also a really interesting incident with her where she kind of went AWOL for a week, and she had told friends and stuff before this had happened that if she wanted to disappear, she could do it, right? And so she just went AWOL for a week. She was gone. No one found her. And then she just kind of showed up and went, yeah, I'm fine.
Told you so.
If I remember right, that is because she was having I think her husband was having an affair.
Yes, it was because her husband was having an affair, but at the same time, like, she did it to kind of prove to him that she could just like disappear if she wanted, and basically blame him for her death. You know, Aston Martin, Philo juice, go for a blossom in your soul. And Kay says she ran off with a guy. Ooh, scandal.
I think there was actually a movie based on that, and Dustin Hoffman is in it.
Okay. Let's see. All right, so we're going to do this.
To look it up. I can't remember what it is at all.
And then we're going to have...
that's pretty good. Move up.
Agatha Christie kept my family from killing each other. We would sit and watch in the 80s all these Agatha Christie things like Poirot.
Yeah.
And we all realized...
Marple. Don't forget Miss Marple.
Miss Marple, and I'm trying to think of... there were some others. But we all realized that there was no way we would ever get away with it. So that's what kept our families alive.
You know, Ian and I went on an Agatha Christie kick for a while, and Murder, She Wrote, and just a bunch of like mystery stuff. The MGM movies of like, oh gosh, Death on the Nile and stuff are just amazing, because they were filmed at a time when Egypt was a lot more open to people filming at the locations. And so like they're on top of the pyramids.
Wow.
Right? And
That's
like
crazy.
You see them riding horses in front of Thebes.
Yeah.
Right? Just amazing. And they're not set pieces. These are the actual places.
Yeah.
Hannah says, the only thing I know about poison is that I will lose 6 HP every turn until a paladin helps me out. Aston Martin says, I think from now on, every time I go to a wedding after, I'm going to make a reference to a random Gorillaz song. Well, what? Says Aston Martin. Yeah.
I'm confused too.
Wait, how did I confuse people?
No, about the random Gorillaz song.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure.
I was not here last week when I said I was going to be, because I was out gorillagramming.
Yes,
Right.
You said that.
Yep.
I replaced the Philo with Silo.
You're singing Gorillagram.
I didn't sing, but I did learn a valuable lesson. Do not wear a gorilla suit in the rain.
You just learned that lesson
Heavy
today?
and wet. And then eventually smelly.
Okay, how did you treat your suit? I worked at a costume shop for several years. How did you treat your suit after?
I hung it up to dry.
Oh no.
What?
Oh, no. It's Matt. What you need to do is you need to get a wire brush. And as soon as you can, brush out all the mats in your costume.
Okay. I'll get a wire brush and do that.
Yeah.
I want an excuse to buy a new suit. I want a good suit.
Okay. You want a good gorilla suit, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Some guys want sports cars when they retire. I want a really good gorilla suit.
Okay, I gotta see your yada yadas. Can you recenter? Nice. Yeah. Open void night. Nice. That's awesome.
Well, I got to put in whatever the correct description is. I haven't changed that yet.
Okay.
I hate the text, so I'm doing it last.
I would be that they're, the ideas are arguing or something like that, right? When your suitor is a suitor, but yeah. Let's see. Okay. So this is them kind of floating in the void here. I'll put a like a halo around Otis so he's easier to see.
Why are you sleeping there? That's a bad place to.
Yeah, and so we got.
I don't know what I'm gonna have for dinner.
Here we go. So I'm gonna stop it there for right now. We went 10 minutes over, but I don't think that's too bad. And so the word balloons are now doing their own comedy, and I have everybody kind of floating in the void there, enjoying said comedy. And we have Dale's panel, which he'll finish off camera, where he's adding in the blacks to the yada yada yadas. So I want to thank everybody. First of all, we're going to thank Archimedes.
Yay,
Archimedes. Yeah, Archimedes.
Oh, passed out. Look at that.
Yeah. And so Archimedes on CatCam, who is my lucky charm. And then I want to see this panel when you're done. There's me. So first of all, we're gonna thank Dale. Thanks, Dale.
You're welcome.
Okay, so let's turn.
If you want to have me on again, let me know.
Oh, I will, definitely. Like I said, I want to have a rotating group of artists, and you're part of that rotating group of artits. And so it's an open invitation.
We need Chuck.
Yeah, definitely. It's an open invitation, and I love having you. So thank you very much, Dale. And then there's me again, Robin. I love you, Robin. You take so much pressure off of me, and I love your gift of gab and all your fantastic knowledge about comics. And you make everything better. And this is me again. So thank you, everyone, for joining us for Philo. This is our Philo credits that we put up earlier, but I'm putting them up now. I got a Patreon if you want to support me, panel.com. If you want to check out my comics, they're free. And then, you can find me on socials and stuff. I'm Art Glitch. And so I hope that you guys have a good night. I'll see you in the future.